I did that before.
They can't hear us. Oops.
Who just farted like hardcore? That was amazing.
Not me.
It was brilliant.
This is the best way for streams to start. Always.
I'm really proud of you.
It's like people laughing and people giggling is always the best introduction to a stream.
Big facts.
Exactly. Hi, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time zone, whichever applies to you, and welcome on in to both TTRPG and to the first session of our little mini LANCER campaign, Solstice. Before we go ahead and jump into the game itself, a little bit about where we are. TTRPG is a channel dedicated to the representation of marginalized folks in the TTRPG community. For the sake of transparency, everyone here, all of our GMs and all of our wonderful players that you see on screen as well, use safety tools. We have multiple safety tools in play to make sure that everyone is safe. We've already had a session 0 beforehand. We're using the XNO system, we're using lines and veils, and there's been a few other discussions as well. Safety tools are incredibly important for any kind of TTRPG play. With that being said, for the sake of y'all as well, there are a few minor content warnings for the rest of the campaign, including but not limited to space, violence, combat, loss, death, stress, cosmic horror, blood, and minor body horror. So please bear that in mind and look after yourselves. That's the most important part. All right, cool. With that being said, let's get this tea party started. And let's get this campaign started. Before that, there are some wonderful other folks on the screen here. I'm just going to quickly give people a chance to mention who they are and what pronouns they use. And if you want to plug anything, go for that as well, but there'll be a chance at the end too. I'm going to start with Crimson.
Hey y'all, I'm Crimson Galaxy. That's Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. My pronouns are they, them, she, and they, and today I'm going to be playing Hype, or Pandora Ellipses. A really speedy, wants to move as fast as she can, just like kind of wild chick. I don't know.
Feel free to popcorn it to someone else. I'm going to make you pick people.
Let's go with Casper.
Hi, wait, what? Hi, I'm Casper. I am Casper the NB Ghost. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on Twitter at Casper the NB Wolf, because if you follow me, you'll find out. I am playing Esclara, no last name because she's broke, but otherwise known as Zombie. Oh, and I'm popcorning it to Amber. Oh, I should have done Darby because Darby was not at her head. Sticking with Amber, go ahead.
It's all right. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I'm a TTRPG writer, editor, streamer, all of the above. That you can find me everywhere there's internet. At the Space Jamber. I am playing Hana Everloyd, also known as Apogee, who is going to be a little bit of like a mean mommy, we've determined. So she's just ready to blow shit up, and not think about the consequences of blowing shit up. She just really wants to see those explosions. So yeah, popcorn. Fuck. I'm 280. I've been on recordings since 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm sorry. Popcorn Darby.
Hi, my name is Darby. Otherwise it's Chaotic Darby. But today on the stream, I will be playing Alexandria, otherwise call sign known as Babel. Both she and I use she, her pronouns. And I will popcorn it to Mark.
Hey everyone, my name is Mark J. Pronouns are he, they. Today I'm playing Miles Flow Doom, aka MF Doom, for those who know. A mostly reformed villain with a penchant for extra-dimensional space-time hacking. I'm piloting Playwright, which is my badass horse mech, which kind of looks like I emptied out an alien corpse and put a machine in there. But when I'm not here, you can find me on the Ever Adventures and all POC D&D podcast. You can find me on Twitter at More the Merrier. Oh, and then that's it. No popcorns. I'm out of
Indeed.
popcorn.
Out of popcorn. Damn. That's okay. And of course, I'm here too. I am Ray. I'm a professional GM and content creator in the TTRPG space, and I will be taking these wonderful people through this little adventure. Let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? Proper. So, your crew are Lancers. Lancers are professional, well-known individuals that have made a name for themselves through good deeds, bad deeds, sometimes a bit in the middle, but for whatever reason, Lancers are the best of the best. You are one such group. Your Lance has been through quite a bit together already. Your various threads have led you to this group proper. One day, you receive a message. One of your continuous employers has decided to reward you for your good service. And they're sending you off many, many light years away from the galactic core. They're sending you to a small, practically abandoned area of space at this point. There's a small system with a single planet that is essentially treated as a retirement world, a resort world, a small slice of utopia away from everything. People pay a frankly disgusting amount of money to come here, to retire here, to holiday here. But there's an event that happens here once every 1,000 years that is the reason why you've been reached out to by your employer. Every 1,000 years, the moon lines up with the sun perfectly and creates a full eclipse during the planet's solstice. During this, there is an interaction with the waves of light and with the earth beneath that creates this beautiful bluish-hued rainbow effect across the ground and essentially etches your silhouette into sections of the land for the rest of time, it seems. This is the true reason why people pay a disgusting amount of money to be here. The chance to etch yourself into a planet forever is something that a lot of people want, a slice of legacy to look after. You, however, are being given this opportunity partly as a job, but also partly as a reward for your service. Your employer has decided that you deserve it, essentially. Not to mention that there's quite a nice paycheck attached, as well as some resources and parts that you can use to tinker and tamper and upgrade your mechs as well as the ship you're traveling on. And we pick up this story in transit towards the system of Peregrine 3. The journey itself is uneventful, long, but uneventful. And I want to give everyone a chance as the ship is traveling forwards. One, to introduce who you're playing, give us a short description, and also tell us what you might be doing during the usual day-to-day activities on the ship. Just a general overview, quick one. We'll go in the same order that we just popcorned. So we'll start with Crimson.
All right. So Pandora or Hype is probably about 5'6", has somewhat shortish hair, maybe a little shorter than mine is in actuality. I want to say her hair's dyed purple. She is kind of slight. She is thin and tiny and goes really fast. She does have a sylph suit, which is a thing in the system. I don't really know how to explain it without going into excruciating detail, but yeah, she just is like, honestly, the clothes she wears over it are like just kind of cute. She's not particularly punk or anything. She's just kind of, she doesn't put a lot of effort into the way she looks. And what she typically does around the ship is just checking in on anyone, seeing if anyone needs anything. She's just trying to be useful in any way that she can. And she just wants to make sure everyone has the stuff they need to make their day a little bit easier.
Oh, that would be me then. Um, I'm a Sclara. They call me zombie. I would be like 4'6", with shaggy green hair, and I'm I have gauntlets, and I'm wearing like tactical armor, uh, just pretty much all the time. On my back, I carry a big axe, um, and on the ship, I'm either sitting in a corner with Babel, or I'm doing whatever playwright needs me to do, um, or like Apogee, or sorry, it would be Doctor Playwright and Doctor Apogee. Doctors are important; they have titles. So
It's a really brutal mispronunciation of mommy, to be honest.
yes, I know.
Facts.
Speaking of Dr. App, oh, go ahead.
Um, she Asclara doesn't look up a lot. And when she does, she just has like a dead look in her eye. Like she's really like if she's looking at you, you know she's about to fight you. Um, and she's got scars across her face and like bandages around her neck and just various body parts just because like she's always fighting. It's like she grew up fighting, so um yeah.
All right. When it comes to Apogee, I mean, she's been raised in this space of making the biggest impact possible. And that means in terms of artillery, not in terms of like actual personal impact on people's lives. Um, she is a very tall, broad-shouldered woman, 6'2", built like a Mack truck. But despite like her height and usually wearing some kind of like grease-stained overalls or like varsity letterman's jacket that was picked up from somewhere in the in the penal colony. You can also, I mean, she also has like an air of intimidation about her with like extremely pierced ears with conches, I mean, like conch piercings, double what are these lobe piercings that hide actually or serve as like the facilitator, the whatever of her, like it's her pilot gear, her data plating being, which allows her to be able to like communicate telepathically essentially with like any of the technology that she is constantly trying to enhance and fix. And but she yeah, she is stern, gruff. It's difficult to kind of get into like a soft, tender interior because she's not even sure if that a soft, tender interior really exists. But she knows that zombies come into her life as a, as a means to an end almost, but zombies efficient, quick, determined. The fact that they're like a little bit annoying, a little bit of a hangers on isn't that big of a deal. Because zombie gets shit done. But yeah, apogee would most likely be found in like the repair bays, or in any kind of like artillery or armory is the word I was looking for, kind of space, making sure that we are properly stocked up on everything that we need. And if we need to do some arms dealing along the way, then at least I know what we have. A good inventory.
Hello, I think that is me next. Before that,
Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy?
I was like clipping that while we were going through. I feel that was important for the health of our stream. But I think Babel is a sort of gaunt looking individual, black hair, but with like streaks of white throughout, even though like they're not of an age where one should be graying, more like stress white. They've got like a smiley face sticker in the middle of their forehead, kind of weirdly juxtaposed with their very deadpan face, big bags under the eyes, just kind of practical gear on. I think on the ship right now, they're sitting in front of their mech, which is what the fuck is it? Morning cloak, big mech, and these two tiny little arms on the mech are solving a Rubik's cube and passing it back and forth between Babel and the morning cloak, and they're just passing it, talking through this Rubik's cube. They're just minding their business, doing nothing useful.
And that leaves me, I think. Doom, Miles for Doom. He sounds about 6'4", black and gray, long locks. His kind of signature green cloak. He's got this piercing gaze that really seems judgmental. It's kind of like a resting judgmental face. Every time he looks at somebody, everybody's like, "Ooh, stop fucking looking at me like that, please." But it's just his resting face. He just always looks very judgmental. Probably in the furthest corner of the ship, probably actually not too far from where Apogee is. Just somewhere very quiet, sitting quietly. He's got his subjectivity enhancement suite. It's like a system of AR, kind of holographic interface, which he uses to basically stay online, hack things he probably shouldn't be getting into, and also planning his next battle of void space experiments that he's probably gonna have Esclara go through, trying to minimize any potential harm, because Esclara is very useful at the very least. Esclara is extremely useful for his experiments.
Mark,
but there's no Am I muted?
Your captions are not working on Google Meet?
Oh, okay. I thought I was muted and I was gonna have to like redo all that.
No.
Okay. Let's do something with captions then. Sorry.
From the top, Mark.
Oh, have mercy. Can you imagine?
Sorry,
We actually haven't been streaming this entire time.
problems.
We have to start over from the beginning.
I've had that happen.
This was a
20
rehearsal?
minutes in.
How can I fix my captions?
Hey,
What's going on?
that was me.
It wasn't just
using
you,
the right
though. It's
microphone?
happened several times.
Is Google Meets using the right microphone for you?
That's a good question.
Ooh,
Yeah, because
good
when
shout.
you when you use an incognito window, I don't know if you did, it will automatically revert it to the base setting of the computer rather than your set mic.
Okay.
Lucky for me, my base setting is my set mic.
All right.
Got
I'm
him.
actually
Just-
gonna do this.
Very lame.
Incredibly, but it was cute.
And then do this.
Yes.
I have it.
Oh no.
Technology.
Gotcha.
Technology.
We spoke with God and y'all could not hear it.
God sounds wonderful, actually. Can't
Oh,
wait
I
to
just
renounce my
confirmed.
atheism.
Yeah,
God is a
sounds like an
woman.
amazing
Ha!
person.
God is in fact a woman.
Oh, that's the wrong
Mommy?
I
button.
knew
Sorry.
it.
Mommy? Sorry.
I feel
Mommy?
like God
Sorry.
is
Mommy?
non-binary at
Sorry.
best.
Yeah,
Mommy?
I'll go with that.
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, God is probably
Okay,
a
and I'm
completely
needing-
genderless entity, you know, agender, something like that. You know.
That. Okay, am I doing the caption now? Hello, there we go. How about meow? Can you hear what I'm saying? The words from my mouth.
Ooh,
There it is.
Abracadabra.
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yay!
Cool.
Hooray,
From
we
the top,
did
friend.
it.
Hold
Oh,
on. Wait. Are
Wait for
my
it.
captions coming through? Okay, there they are. All right, hell yeah.
All right.
Just pass the curse on. Yeah. Tell me more about your person, Mark.
wait, where did I leave off? Shoot.
I was useful. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I was Miles is planning experiments, some void space experiments, and trying to minimize any potential risk. But there's no experiment without some risk. So these are the least deadly he can make them, but there's still a risk that you might end up trapped in void space or just deleted from existence or something fun like that.
Just little oopsies like that. Just,
Things happen when you experiment with void space. It's part of the, part of how it
it's
works.
unavoidable.
You
Oh.
can't. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm gonna take a drink.
Dude, if you took a drink every time I made a pun, y'all would be
You're gonna get hurt. sir.
gone.
You want to make some omelets, you got to break some eggs. That's all we're saying.
Okay. Wonderful intros from everyone there. With that being said, who would be the most likely out of you to notice a communication coming through to the ship?
Probably me because I have I do have the data plating.
I do too.
Oh yeah. I forgot you have data plating.
I think Miles
I
would be
three
hacked
have
into
data
Apogee's comm system. So when you get it, I get it.
I like this. I like this a lot.
All of us fucking hear it, just the voices
Except for
in our
me.
head.
Except for me. Sklara does what she's supposed.
Everyone hears it, and then there's just Esclara at the corner, just vibing, having a decent time, just chilling.
I
in the
also
corner.
have a sound system, so I can listen to music.
We do.
So, the travel is indeed uneventful and boring. It's a significantly longer trip than some of your previous engagements. So for some of you, the boredom may set in a little quicker than others, depending on your life experiences. But eventually, as the ship begins entering the system itself, there's immediately a small beeping on the comms. And the message itself seems to be coming from the planet.
Quick, what's our ship called?
Oh,
Wilma,
Wilma.
Wilma.
balls fit in
Yeah.
your mouth.
Having another drink.
Fuck you, Darcy.
Why are you the way that you are?
Anyways, I love you.
God damn it.
Oh, god damn it.
I see. This is the mood that we are setting for the rest of the stream.
Swerve.
So,
Wilma Balls here.
No.
What's up?
the message opens up with about a 3-second pause before you hear, yes, that is certainly a choice. Hello, welcome on in. We were expecting a ship over the next couple of days. I'm assuming that is you. Welcome to Peregrine 3. I am Caretaker Gabrielle. I am one of the co-leaders on the planet here, along with Caretaker Adonis. I'd just like
You
to...
got an Adonis? Question mark.
There's another few second pause and some mumbling behind the some mumbling to someone else before you hear a soft kind of confirmation through the crackle of the static. I would like to make sure that your landing process is smooth. So first of all, I'm sending you the coordinates for our landing pad. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot in the way of onboarding systems for your Lance, so you'll have to pilot them manually to the city. I'm incredibly sorry for the inconvenience there, but we don't have a lot of military infrastructure.
Just checking in. Everyone else is in on this call too right now, right? No?
Everyone
Okay.
except Esclara.
Yeah, that should be fine. We all like using our mechs, so sure.
Wonderful. Well, in that case, if there's anything else I can do to help the process, then please let me know. Otherwise, I wish you a safe rest of your flight, and we shall meet on the planet very soon.
Sounds good.
May the light guide you. There's a click. That's the message.
And
ends.
also to you. Oh, wow.
Like,
Sorry that I took that call. It just seemed like everyone was busy. I gave a couple seconds pause.
You got everything we needed, so it's totally fine.
What's up, playwright?
Oh, Sklara. Hype, would you feel them in, please? And I connect your comms.
Sorry, Mark. I just saw your character name in Zoom, and
What happened? Is it my weird other life name?
No. MF Doom? Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was something really sus.
No.
My own private situations, but yeah, cool.
What's up?
We're being called down to Paragon 3. We're gonna have to fly our mechs down manually to get prepped and ready.
Yes, sir.
And
I'm
don't
gonna-
call me sir.
Sorry, Dad. I'm gonna run all the way over to God Killer, which is the name of my mech, by the way. It is an HA Barbarossa. It's just a mountain. And it's gonna take me forever to get up there because I'm such a tiny person. But I'm gonna be one of the first people after Babel to get inside their mech.
I think if you're struggling to get into the Barbarossa, I think from the inside of their mech, Babel's just going to scoop you with Villia and then just blank.
I pull out a Rubik's cube and like basically do our code for thank you.
I think Babel will take it. Villia's little arms do. Rubik's Cube chucks it back and says, nerd.
I get it. I get it. I lock myself into that monster and I am so happy.
I am
Mm.
Dad's favorite. Throws another Rubik's Cube.
That one just bounces off the hull. I can't reach it now. I never see that message.
As there are other members of the crew running around getting the last minute checks of the mech sorted and all of that kind of maintenance process and getting you ready to go ahead and mount these machines. Why don't you tell us what you're rocking? What's your mech and any personal adjustments that you might have made to it?
Well, the mech that Babel is rocking is called a SSC morning cloak. It is this white kind of people shaped mech that has all these little blue bing bongs all over it. I don't really know what those are. I always think they look like eyes, but it's also got these blue, almost fabric-y, veiny looking filaments that are coming off of it. And then two tiny little arms underneath its other normal sized arms, just like hanging out down there. Babel's morning cloak is also equipped with an enlightenment level class, non-human person, I think is what NHP stands for, aka an AI. This AI is basically a person. So neat. Someone else.
I'll go. I also have an SSC morning cloak. That's why I said I'll go. Except mine is not built the same at all. It's got not completely different specs because it is the same mech overall. But it does have a custom paint job where it is approximately the colors of this dye, purple and pink all over instead of the white and blue. And essentially, her mech is built for speed. It goes fast, and that's what it's meant to do. It goes fast and hits hard. And the one major difference from the stuff that you can get equipped from the original SSC Morning Cloak compared to this build is that I have explosive heat vents. So if my mech starts to overheat, I'll deal extra heat and fire damage to everyone around me.
Yeah, I can go because my parents helped deck out my my mountain of a mech, which it's just gray. It's gray and scary looking. It's huge. I have an apocalypse rail cannon, and a chainsaw. Like, I've got an apocalypse rail gun that I got from mom. My dad gave me a siege can. Mom being Apogee, she's not really my mom. My dad being playwright, and he gave me a siege cannon, and then my mech has a chain axe because yeah.
Hashtag not your real dad.
Right.
Yeah, hashtag not my real parents. I am an orphan.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, Apogee is rocking a Smith Shimano Monarch. So no morning cloaks, but we got a Monarch, which is our big, heavy boom boom mech. It has these like big shoulders, like essentially like shoulder pads, but really they're secret rocket launchers. Let's be real. That like extend out, and really it's very evocative of Apogee's like actual shoulder, like white shoulders, but on the like thighs there are more rocket launchers, just anything that you can put a rocket launcher on, she's got it. But the color of this mech is, you can, so it's majority like so purple it's almost black, right? Just that deep dark shade of purple that allows it to like take cover in dark spaces. But there are like little hints of, you know, of detailing in like a little hints of detailing in like a like a lilac purple, very light, almost like, you know, almost like glints of light behind, glints of light coming from like a sun or a star or whatever that is being eclipsed by a planet. And it just so happens that the name of this mech is Eclipse, because you'll never see it coming, but it'll black you out, baby. So it'll be, yeah, she's very proud of it. It is her pride and joy. Built this thing from scratch.
I forgot to mention that my mech's name is Velocity.
Velocity.
Well, speaking of mech names, my mech and slash my AI is named Villia.
Philia.
Villia blow me? That's not the reason why. That's not the reason why, but I took an opportunity when I saw it anyways. Moving on.
I hate the way your brain works.
You just got them lined up, and I love it. I love it. I hope there's more to come because it's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Playwright is my mech. Playwright is not the biggest mech in the world, but they are pretty devastating. It looked like an exoskeleton from some alien being, and when you look at it, it's almost as if you're not looking at it at all. It kind of exists inside and outside of reality. At least that's what Miles wants you to think. It basically can manipulate time, manipulate space, can hack into other mechs, can send people into the void. So it's quite a devious thing. It's meant for speed and to get in and not be seen, an infiltration, really. So that's Playwright.
Perfect. Quite the squad we have here. I like the I like the mix of talents and builds that we have here. So the ship becomes a little more turbulent as you begin to enter the atmosphere. For the moments where you're finishing your repairs, you see a lot of the rank and file in the room suddenly just stop and look as the hangar bay begins to open up. And there's this immediate, crisp, cold-ish, like cool air that flows into the ship. There's the immediate beams of sun and light that seem to reflect off of the, at this point, dirty and worn metal of this vessel. And as the landscape opens up, there's this beautiful rolling golden yellow field of flowers that seem to cover pretty much the entire area that you're looking at here. Some small sections of collected gold, almost blossom trees that pop up every 20, 30 foot perhaps. But this just sprawling section of what at first would look like farmland, but it's seemingly untouched by anyone. You can see in the far, far, far distance a small metallic tower that seems to break up and out from the horizon. looks a little less imposing than you would perhaps imagine. It almost wouldn't be noticeable if you hadn't have journeyed so far and seen so many different kinds of biomes and places in your travels. You do see, cresting over the hill, slowly, the silhouettes of 4 other mechanized robots approaching. You hear the kind of ding dong as one of the crewmates goes onto the loudspeaker and just, all right, so according to the info that we've got, there's not actually a good place to land. We're a few feet up, but you'll be able to handle the jump just fine, I'm sure. Just try not to fall over and ruin the flowers, huh?
Ruin the flowers. Got it.
No,
That sounds like a plan.
That's what I heard.
Person who ruins the most flowers wins.
Copy
Oh.
that.
Oh, you know I'm in on this.
You can hear like Apogee doesn't say anything, but you can just hear the sound of like the rocket launchers like booting up, like
Just revving the engines like we're gonna destroy so many rich people's property. Vroom, vroom, bitch.
Oh, nice.
you can't. Oh, why do I? But you're clear for departure. Just try not to make enemies of everyone here this time. Thanks.
Only one person will be our friend.
we need more than
Charges.
one friend per planet.
Yeah, I mean, there's typically one good person per planet.
Sometimes not even that.
Hmm.
At most.
And usually I
one.
like to leave that one good person into 2 parts. So
Cool. We're killing everybody. Charges up, apocalypse gone.
Not killing. Not killing.
I will say this.
Eclipse will do that for us.
I will say
Right.
this. You can take out the people, but leave the flowers and the trees. They're quite beautiful.
But we already made a wager to destroy the flowers. You can't tell us not to.
Yes.
Are you saying to please stick to the rivers and the lakes like you used to?
Yes. Do not chase those waterfalls.
I mean, a waterfall isn't hard to chase. It kind of stays in one place.
It's a very generational thing.
Extremely
know.
generational reference, these children.
I love it. Thank you so
They
much.
don't understand.
I'm glad that this is
Well-
now canon in this universe.
In
I'm
the
pleased.
Oh, good.
1990s, there was an R&B group called TLC who had
Yeah,
a very,
T-Bone,
very
Left Eye,
popular.
and Chili.
Time,
Yeah.
love, and care?
Yep. Okay. Can we? Yep.
Don't
That
don't
one
just-
hurt.
Don't
That
don't
one just
even.
really
Just-
hurt.
Does that mean time died?
Uh,
I mean, I'll tell you this. I thought Lynyrd Skynyrd was a person and that he was the lead singer for
Lynyrd.
Led
It's
Zeppelin.
Leonard. It's Leonard Skinnerd.
Okay.
Yeah, but it
Leonard.
is spelt like Lynard, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So if you want to feel, I will just my musical
pretty
knowledge is
sure.
pretty like poo poo. So
Yeah,
you know,
we-
I'm pretty sure Leonard is typically spelled L-E-A, not L-Y.
yeah, and he's the lead singer for Led Zeppelin. So
Yeah.
that was
I am- so
Um,
young,
no.
and yet I feel so old.
I'm in pain.
This is the way you move. Gonna make you groove.
Oh Lord have mercy.
All right.
Anyways, I got a plan to destroy. I mean, guard.
Okay.
Okay.
So, stage is set. You can go ahead and dismount with as little or as much flourish as you wish. But you will eventually make your way onto the planet of Peregrine 3. Sure enough, the land underneath you is, again, covered in these beautiful golden flowers that are swiftly crushed by the mechanical feet that quickly slam into the ground underneath. Some of you a bit more than others. We have a lot of smaller mechs here. Not all of you, though, are quite that small, as the the size 3 Barbarossa in your company definitely makes a sizable dent into the ground.
I want it known that I tried my best to tippy toe. Because playwright said so.
It just doesn't look like it because you're
You-
fucking
I'm
enormous.
gonna keep you on your tippy toes.
You land and your Barbarossa is like that. Like both feet just pointed down. The problem is both feet pointed down is about the same size as like an entire other person's mech. So
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
for you, it's good damage control.
When I land, can I boost and do a big spiral outward that's 14 spaces?
You absolutely can if you would like to wreck the landscape ahead. Absolutely can. That is well within your power.
You know what? No, I have to be responsible. Playwright said be responsible. Don't do it.
This is a very flat org structure. You can do as you like. It's just my recommendation.
If I see hype like trying to start their boosters, can I like just put a hand on their head and be like, stay?
I'll allow
Good
it.
boy. Heal.
Wow.
Fine, whatever.
As much as I hate to admit that the young one might have a point, we probably don't want to go in guns blazing for our first impression. Maybe the second impression.
Fine. I think Babel will just try to gently land on top of Zombie. Just like touch down. Just like
Sticks an arm out because this is not the first time.
like a fucking bird. Like
Yep.
Morning Cloak, the dove on your shoulder.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
is
gonna-
there
I'm
enough
gonna-
space for another one?
like a fucking mocking, like just a
I will be a
jostling.
tree. I will be a tree for the morning cloaks. That's fine.
Mm, mhm,
Birds.
mhm.
You've got 2 arms.
Yeah.
2 arms for a reason.
One for each morning cloak.
Perfect. This is the weirdest battle formation, but it's fine. It'll work
I-
out.
I need to conserve my fuel. What?
As soon as you land on the planet, you have a few moments to take in the scenery around you. Just a few moments, though, before you all get a communication through. Unidentified Lance? What are you doing here exactly?
Hey, playwright, I think you're up.
Yeah, boss. It's up to you.
You're the face.
Okay. Serious now. Yeah, we're what are we doing here? I got so distracted by the flowers, sorry.
Well, how did I get here?
Yeah. Skirt. You're probably wondering how I got here. Yep, that's me. This is playwright. What do you need?
Just trying to figure out what exactly you're doing here, playwright. Unless... Sorry, go on.
No, you go on.
I was just gonna say, we're expecting some folks. You hear a bit of rustling before there's a click in the communication. And in front of you, on all of your comcons, there's a screen that pops up. And sitting in a pilot's chair, much like your own, you see a femme individual, probably 40s, if you were to guess. Very stern look, but very well made up. There's some jewelry that kind of stretches across one of her ears and kind of wraps into this whole kind of beautiful golden procession across her forehead and around. She has a very large scar from a section of her nose down to her mouth. She is rugged, but focused as she looks towards you and just, yes, playwright, you said, right? That was the call sign?
Correct.
Yeah, that matches reports. Okay. Never mind. False alarm. You are indeed expected. Hara, call sign Avalon. We're part of Lance Thunderhead. We're here as punishment for another situation. That is information you don't exactly need to know, but we are also here. We just saw a few unidentified signals and thought that we'd go ahead and check it out as best we could. It's not often that anything happens in this place, apart from card games and the occasional round of bingo. So,
If we were expected, then why were the signals unidentified? We should have been cleared to land. Actually, we were cleared to come here. Are you sure there's not more signals out there?
that's actually a really good question. One
I
moment.
know. That's why I asked.
She reaches over, clicks another button. Another screen comes up on her end. She puts her head into her hands and just kind of massages a temple as she says, "All right, Fritz, what's going on? You said that these were unidentified signals, and yet it took me exactly 2 seconds to check the logs and make sure that no, they in fact were expected." You hear some garbled chatter through the comms before she rolls her eyes. "Excuse me, I have to discipline my squad."
I mean, if they want to fight,
I could be down for a scrap.
That will not be necessary. We're simply meant to be escorting you to the caretakers so that you can get your actual assignment before the solstice. And one of my team decided that they had had enough doing their actual job and decided to fake some signatures. That's all it is.
Which one?
The lance ahead of you is now more visible as you have landed and taken yourself. You see before you a few mechs, 4 in total. You see a Tokugawa, you see a Duskwing, you see a Death's Head, and you see a Lich. And she points herself on the screen. The weird looking one that looks like someone tried to build a person from memory out of metal.
Huh.
I send over the subdermal plating. If we have to fight, dibs on the shoot. It was just there. Duskwing.
I'm gonna go over to that one and Gib smack him in the back of the head.
It's subdermal plating. I don't say it out loud.
I know. This was already a plan. You just said stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Also, this is with the 2 morning cloaks on my shoulders. I'm just gonna keep. They're still there.
you step forwards and just dunk on the back of the lich's head.
Mm-hmm.
As this size 3 mech carrying 2 size 1s, I believe the morning cloaks are, strolling up to this smaller size 1 in this small collection, only to there's the echoing sound of metal. And it does get a chuckle out of Avalon as you've done this. They roll their eyes. Thank you for doing what I am not able to do. I very much appreciate it.
I silently go back to my spot. Again, I've been tiptoeing this entire time to save as many flowers as I can. Behind Playwright.
Your mech is like 4 times the size of mine, and you're gonna go behind me. I love it. I love it.
Apologies for the confusion and the intrusion, but yes, we'd be more than happy to escort you to Paradise Brook. Believe the caretakers will want a word with you.
Sounds good. Well, actually, I had a thought as I was coming over. I have these void space transporters. They extend the harmonic frequency discriminator, and they can basically teleport us where we need to go. I've got it up to a 5% success rate, which is pretty good. So, do y'all want to try these out?
5%.
Yeah.
That's better. Well,
I like
I
those
keep coming back.
odds.
You do. You do. You know what? We'll just save it for now. We'll just go the regular way. No worries.
Okay.
Should I go on ahead and get the docks prepped the way that y'all like them?
Do whatever you want. Doesn't bother me.
That sounds like a yes. I don't want to waste any time. I need to get moving. Like, there's probably a lot of work to do here, and I just need to get started on all of it right now. So I'll catch you later. I jump off of the shoulder and literally just like my mech starts running.
I try and tiptoe in like the divots that they leave in the field. Doesn't work.
You know, when we said make a good first impression, we didn't literally mean impression into the ground. We meant on the people.
It would have been better clarified before we landed. Rubik's Cubes are better for talking.
Oh, Playwright told me to not mess the flowers.
I think we're a little bit too late for that.
I did my best.
Well, I'm proud of you for trying your best. Question mark? Is that what you need to hear?
I think they prefer a more domineering hand.
I don't know with these kids anymore. What they need.
Zombie, do better. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Don't call me sir.
Yes, Dad.
Uh,
I need more money if you're looking for things to give children.
You'll earn your keep.
Damn it.
this other lance begin to lead you in the direction of the spire that you had seen here. As you and your mech bound forwards, overtaking most of your lance, even with the Barbarossa's gate, and most of theirs, you notice the occasional appearance of the Lich a few steps ahead of you. To the side, you keep running, and it doesn't seem to move, and it pings forward again. You notice it just there. It just seems to be following you step by step, just appearing out of nowhere. The rest of you also see, as you're following behind, the Lich just seemingly blink from one space to another as it follows along. But you are indeed the first one to crest the hill along with this Lich. It doesn't seem to be doing anything other than just keeping pace with you. Doesn't seem to be doing anything hostile. It's not brandishing any weapons. You don't sense any electronic interference. It just seems to be keeping an eye on you.
Change my mind. If it comes to a fight, I want to fight the Lich. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna head straight to the tower, find a good spot for us to dock our mechs in and just start prepping for everyone else to arrive right after I get settled in.
God, the children keep running and doing as they please. This is not organized. And Apogee is going in her mech going to jet up and zoom over as quickly as possible to follow, and then try to mitigate some of this whatever the hell hype is about to do.
I'm Godzilla stomping to try and keep up.
Alexander's just done, just still sitting on on Zombie. Just placing a Rubik's Cube in front of your viewfinder for a second and then pulling it back up.
My responses are literally just thumbs up, thumbs down, shrug.
I'm bored. Go faster.
Keeping it simple.
When you say I'm bored, go faster, I pick you up like I'm gonna throw you. Cool. I'll just huck them ahead a little bit. I hope you land.
So as our first morning cloak has bounded forward and gotten to where the hill peaks, as you stand on top of this hill, you now see this settlement of Paradise Brook, and it is simultaneously beautiful and revolting. It is the epitome of human hubris. It is this beautiful, large, sparsely populated, but still somehow built up utopic landscape ahead of you. All the buildings are very much glass and steel and silver. There's plants and flowers that are not only lining the streets, but there are also these huge, beautiful, flowery trellises that seem to cover large sections of the buildings themselves. There's these beautiful, sprawling sections of water features and stores and open park areas, and surrounded again by these beautiful fields around the area. It is beautiful and sickening in equal measure because you know just how much people have paid to create and stay here. um, but it is
Uh-huh.
very much a fairy tale utopia that you're seeing before you. The first thing you clock is that there is no docking bays. There doesn't seem to be any kind of docks or clamps or anything like that to keep your machinery. There doesn't seem to be any repair bays. There doesn't seem to be any maintenance wings or anything like that. It is likely that there have been barely any Lancers on this planet ever, full stop. The second thing you notice in the corner of your eye is the slight glint of metal in the sky for just a moment. Before you realize that you recognize that glint of metal, as sailing over your shoulder, having been thrown by the Barbarossa, is Babel, just flying a little bit of distance over the hill and tumbling down.
I'd like to try and blink my mech as much as possible to try and get as close to or ahead of height as possible. Because I know it will piss her off just a little bit.
You certainly can. That's the joy of Lancer. You just kind of say, I want to do something.
All right.
And most of the time you can do it.
When I see them coming forward like that, I'm gonna be like, no, you don't. And I am going to actually use my boost, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d6, because when I boost for speed, for movement, I can roll a d6 and add that to my movement. So
now we're just racing.
That's a 5. So I take 2 heat by doing that.
We're not even in combat yet.
Yep. All right. And so that is, my move is 7. Boosting makes it 14. Plus 5 is 19.
Apogee, Esclara, and Eftim, as you reach the same area, this peak of the hill, all you can see before you are these 2 morning cloaks racing each other into the city itself, a mixture of sprinting and heat-producing boosts and these small kind of like micro blinks in order to be just ahead as much as they can. It is quite the scene through these, like, there's like flowers in the air that have been very, they're just wrecked, they're gone, like there's petals throughout them. It's just
over, like, in your viewfinder, Babel, you're gonna see in Rubik's Cube, better win, I gave you an advantage.
Aye, Captain. I'm just blink spacing. Not even with my stabilized singularity, every time I boost or make a standard move, I teleport. So just bloop, 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 bloop.
the question is,
so you activated your core system already?
I think so. It's just an I guess it's an active.
mhm.
Yep.
You can activate that if you wish. That's certainly an option.
I'm not turning mine on yet.
I mean, it's not like I can roll 3. It's not like I'm gonna roll the same number on all 2d6 immediately. Like what?
Well, that's the blink space jump, which is a passive ability that you can do at any time. But the stabilized singularity that makes it so every time that you move, it automatically blinks you is the active core system that you have to activate.
People wants to win, or at least give Hype a run for her money. So
Okay.
When I see you do it, I'm gonna roll the 3d6 to do a blink space
Oh my
jump
goodness.
too.
now Ray, are you ready to see
Roll
if two of your pilots immediately disappear?
Oh fuck! I closed out a comp con.
Roll
This is
up.
exactly how you
Okay.
planned.
So we have literally landed on a planet and walked, and we already have 2 core activations.
No, this one's my passive.
Children.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So close to triples.
Me too. Me too. I was one die away from triples. So whoever got higher wins, right? What did you get?
6, 6, and a 5.
6, 6. Oh yeah, you destroyed me. I got a total of 10.
Here's a question for you, Ray.
hmm
I know we're not using like a virtual tabletop, but like,
Mhm.
would they be far? Are they?
How far did we just go?
Oh, we
Are
went
they-
like
Are
30,
they?
40 spaces ahead of everybody.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say, are they within a range of 8?
They would be with those 2 blink space jumps. They would be very out of range of 8, unfortunately.
Well, god damn it. Because I
What are we gonna
essentially
do?
have a leash because
Ooh.
sometimes I have the Ferris lash from the Black Witch.
Mhm.
So it just, like the mom that has the
Mommy?
kid with the
Sorry,
leash
mommy?
in the fucking
Sorry, mommy? Sorry.
That's kind of more the mom with the leash I'm thinking about.
Oh, that
More a
Consent
one.
given.
mommy than a mom. You know?
We are all adults here.
Mhm.
We are also all children. Yes, unfortunately, they are out of range of 8. With a 6, 6, and a 5. Yeah, that
Can't
is.
blame me for trying.
That is quite the jump away.
RPG, just let them burn this out. They'll sleep well tonight.
Yeah. I guess they
Stone
can get their
face.
lashing. They can get their lashing later.
I'm just stone faced following behind Playwright and Apogee. I'm like, I didn't do nothing, know nothing about nobody.
The other mechs are also following you. Avalon's mech, the Tokugawa. If a mech could sigh, that's essentially just the general energy around them right now. As the 2 of you are blinking forward, trying to win this race, and the Lich is still following you as well, just occasionally being either with you or a step ahead. As you're traveling, the closer you get to this settlement, you're beginning to see people outside, walking around, doing their usual everyday thing, and then shitting themselves as they look to the side and see these 2 blinking mechanized units rolling / running / teleporting down the hill towards the settlement itself. There's like one person standing there who's like dropped an ice cream cone and is just staring at this whole thing developing. And at the top of the hill, this kind of array of other mechanized units that are slowly making their way down. A few of them panic, a few of them run, a few of them just freeze in place.
I think as soon as people start like shitting themselves, Babel is going to make a calculated decision to just stop moving, but let hype keep going forward as if I'm still racing. And I'm just gonna sit by a flower.
No, I think I also freeze up. I'm like, no, I'm not running any further into this city because I might accidentally step on someone. No, thank you.
Just chill by a flower patch. Like, nothing wrong. I didn't do anything. I'm just looking at these flowers.
Sometimes we have to have a foot race. There's nothing wrong with that.
Are you all done with your little competition?
It wasn't a competition. I won.
You got lucky. Your blink space drive just worked a little bit better than mine this time. Otherwise, I would have had you.
I'm sure it brings you great comfort.
Oh, you know I'm the fastest. Don't
At
play.
losing. Yep.
But yes, I'm done. Thank you.
There's a communication that comes through as Horror connects. Just says, "Are you done?"
I believe they are.
Wonderful.
Do you
It's
regret
good.
letting us on this planet yet?
In fairness, one, it wasn't my choice, and two, it is somewhat comforting to know that there are other ne'er-do-wells like my own crew here. It is comforting to see people in a similar position. Yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, down this path, we'll take a right. Be careful through the buildings. There is enough space for everyone's units to get through, single file, even the Barbarossa. But we need to be careful. Then we'll be parking up just outside of the embassy, and we can go ahead and head inside and have a chat with the caretakers.
Just for what is the biggest mech on their squad?
The biggest mech on their squad is the Tokugawa. They have 3 size 1s and a size half. So a human, like slightly bigger than human.
Yeah, like 9 feet tall is a half.
Cool. I'm gonna step in front of all of them.
Well, I mean, if the Barbarossa can fit through the door, then like we could do pairings of like 3 mechs at a time after it, probably. Let's save time. Go fast.
Just follow me. The Tokugawa, you watch their arms droop in place as they take a few steps forward and indeed head right through what seems to be the main street in this settlement here. As I say, it is big, it is sprawling, but it is also relatively sparsely populated. You don't see a whole lot of people around and about. And the buildings themselves mostly seem to be egregiously leisurely, I guess you could say. These kind of very large, very spacious, beautiful buildings that don't actually have a lot in them if you were to look through the window. But yes, there is indeed enough space for the Barbarossa. Even the smaller mechs among you get concerning glances, and even the mechs that have been here for a while still get the side eye from a few people. The Barbarossa elicits a very panicked reaction from a lot of people. They have not seen anything quite so large in their in their time on Peregrine 3. So it's a bit of a procession as you all make your way through. But eventually, the end of the path gives way to this large, almost crystalline dome building. There's a beautiful kind of iridescent shine across a lot of it. There is a moment where horror steps in again and just one more thing. You are fine to bring weaponry inside. You are essentially freelancers after all. But please keep any of your personal weapons sheathed while in the presence of the caretakers. You would win the fight. That's beyond reproach. I'm simply saying that perhaps upsetting or potentially endangering the people who are meant to be paying you may not be the smartest move.
I get it. They're cowards.
They are retirees and rich people on a resort world. Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
Fair.
They've given up the fight, and that's why we're here.
Something like that.
Why
Anyway.
are they bringing in so much security for this?
That's a question you'll have to go ahead and ask them. As I say, we are here on punishment, not on contract. So, we have even less information than you do.
Question. Who is your toughest pilot?
Toughest pilot inside of a mech, or toughest pilot out of one?
I would destroy you in a mech. So obviously out.
That would be, as loath as I am to admit it, that would be Z. They've always been a better hand-to-hand fighter than I've been. Wingspan over there in the Duskwing.
I'll meet him later.
I'm sure they'll be interested in the spa.
I want to clarify, I may act like a child, but I'm like 25. Just want to clarify.
And you're 4'6", yeah.
Yeah, 4'6", 25. What's happening here?
All right, make your preparations. We'll go ahead and meet you inside. The communication cuts.
All right, so I thought I'd be able to prep some areas for us to, set up and everything, but it looks like we're just supposed to leave our mechs outside in the weather.
No. I'm gonna find the biggest building that maybe could house my mech. Non-residential building or side of a mountain that could house my mech and just make a hangar. I'm just not. God Killer does not see sun.
I just have the image of you walking up to a hill and just punching a hole into it. And then sliding, like reversing the Barbarossa into it. There we go. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Pretty much what I was thinking, except for instead of punching, just gonna take my chain axe and just like carve out like a silhouette of the Barbarossa and then just
It's like the most violent lots of Bob Ross. It's like we're gonna make a happy little cake. Just carving a hole. Ah, perfect. That is certainly something you can do.
They're gonna love us here.
Unless there's any other specific preparations that people wanted to quickly go over before stepping inside. I want to give you a chance to voice any of those real quick.
No, I mean,
I can make it. I can make my little makeshift hangar big enough for all of y'all. Just nice side swipe of my axe, and
I'd be cool with that. Yeah.
the other
I-
lance can like go away. But
I am going to. I forget what kind of thing it is. I'm gonna see if I can like hack into their system some kind of way. I'm not gonna do anything aggressive. But I'm gonna see if I can just be in just in case with my hacker ability kind of thing. If possible. You're muted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is definitely possible.
Okay.
I won't resolve that now, but I will
Okay.
keep that in mind.
Good.
And we'll handle that afterwards, because I do want to go for a break real quick, give people a
Dig it.
chance to think, reset, rehydrate, and all of that
Before
good
break.
stuff.
Before break, I walk into the middle of a clearing and I let out all of my excess heat that I built up during the race. That way I'm not around anyone to burn them.
In a field of flowers.
The vent, I'll point the vents up.
Okay, sure. You can most certainly do that.
I sorry, I see this as just a giant fart. Just a mech fart straight up in the air. And
Yeah.
yes, I am a
Think
child.
Think of the episode of Futurama with Bender when he was stuck on his
Oh my
back,
God.
but they had to move the planet away from the sun.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay. Well, unless there's it sounds like there's no other specific preparations that people want to make, we'll go ahead and resolve that breach into the system after the break.
Cool.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and split off for a few minutes, give everyone on the cast and everyone at home a chance to rehydrate, stretch, and all of that good stuff, and we will see you in just a few minutes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Solstice. I kind of just want to jump straight back in, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Where we left off, our crew of interesting individuals had made their way onto Peregrine 3 and have already begun making quite the reputation for themselves, having only just stepped into the city of, well, city, I guess, is perhaps an over-exaggeration, but the settlement of Paradise Brook. Already catching the ire of the other lance that is there, specifically their apparent leader, Hara, otherwise known as Avalon. They were escorting the group to meet the caretakers of the planet. Being a relatively sparsely populated place, ruling and leadership, so to speak, is far more lax than you have encountered on other planets. You would know from the small kind of data pack that you had gotten before taking on this mission that this system doesn't really have any kind of political structure to the same degree that you may have encountered on various other planets. For Peregrine 3, it is very much just the caretakers and a few volunteers that help run things. Before we go ahead and jump into you all stepping inside, MF Doom, why don't you go ahead and roll me a hack check?
All right, my first roll of this game. What do I actually roll?
So it is a d20,
D20. Got one.
and then you plus, if you have any points in hack, you add those, and you also add your grit, which is your license level.
Oh my gosh, you said a lot of words. I'm just kind of hope I
That's
know
okay.
know what we're talking about. Okay, the roll is
So a d20.
yeah, roll 7.
Yeah, cool. Plus, if you check in your skill triggers, there is one that's called hack or fix. If you have any points in those, add that to the score.
Okay. Sorry. Where are the skill triggers? My bad.
So if you look in your pilot section rather than the other, so your narrative profile, your skill triggers will be there.
Oh,
So we'll
okay.
say,
I have
like,
+6 to
apply
skill
face-to-faces.
triggers. Plus 6 to hack or fix. Yeah.
Okay, so 6 plus 7, and then plus your grit, which
Plus
will
2,
be
so
the big number to the side.
15 total.
Wonderful.
Got it. Thank you.
Lancer, success is static. So you have to get a 10 or better to succeed. And the difference in what happens is a difficulty-based system. This, as you would just quickly discover upon trying to breach this place, this is child-level encryption. This is, very, very basic in terms of both hardware and software. So your intent to breach not only goes smoothly, but there are also absolutely no repercussions for said breach. Is there anything specific that you wish to look into, or are you simply just trying to keep a monitor of things?
I'm just trying to monitor anything that might pop up just to be ahead of things.
Okay. Seems like a very simple closed loop system. It's just data kind of being passed from various different individuals, kind of pedestrian information, to be honest. Very kind of standard run of the mill. Oh, here's the supply checkup. Here's the, stock check of this place, sending that over to someone. Oh, here's the harvest for this month, sending that over to someone. The one thing that kind of catches your eye, perhaps, is in terms of monitoring outside of the planet, there seems to be one single satellite, and that is it. Nothing else in orbit.
That is bizarre.
And that is kind of all you get. The satellite seems to be monitoring the system itself as well as the weather on the planet. That's kind of it.
Cool.
Very, very simple. But yeah, you are logged in there, so to speak.
There you go.
As the rest of you have parked up your lance and committed an act of eco-terrorism as you've carved a cave for yourself into a nearby hill, which I very much appreciate.
And then let off an explosion in the middle of a field.
Small, diffuse. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Can I booby trap the door or the entrance of the cave?
Sure thing. You
Yeah,
absolutely can.
I'm gonna do that.
You have the do you have any tools in your pack to help with that? Any
I
equipment?
have a wait, what is in my pack? I have a wilderness survival kit and a thermite charge.
Sure. Yeah, that's quite the booby trap that you can set up. Okay. Using your survival kit and the tools within and your thermite charge, you can set up a booby trap at the entrance.
Cool. I wait till everyone gets out first and then I set it up.
Yeah. Cool. Taking the chance to dismount, to grab what gear you wish to bring with you, taking a few moments to head back towards the settlement. The entranceway to this embassy area is a bit of a walk. You get to see a little more of the kind of everyday bustle that's in this place. These individuals seem spoiled, to be frank. They're all around wearing nice clothes, nice outfits, jewelry. There's plenty of food places. There's plenty of recreational facilities. And everyone seems to be in both good health and good spirits, it would appear. Stepping up to the embassy itself, there are 4 figures that are waiting for you. One of which you would identify as Hara, who is standing in a relatively simple kind of mesh suit that seems to be wrapped in this very elegant, very intricate scarf that seems to wrap around both shoulders and come up and around the head itself. There's 3 other individuals. One is a tall, well-built, black mask individual. They seem to be tapping away on a small data pad on their arm. And as soon as they clock you, they kind of just give you a respectful nod and go back to it. They are wearing what seems to be a silk suit, as well as an enhancement suite. They very much have the works in terms of the technology across them. The third individual is a little leaner, a little shorter than the rest, sitting at about 4'11". They seem to be in a full just stealth combat suit and seem to have their eyes trained around everywhere, partly in watch, making sure that people are safe, but also definitely as a distraction as well. You can tell that they're getting a little bored just by standing there. The last individual is a average-sized mask individual who weirdly just seems to be in a casual clothes. Doesn't seem to be any kind of armor, doesn't seem to be any kind of technological enhancements. Doesn't appear to be any kind of suite or anything like that. They just seem to be in a regular kind of t-shirt, shirt, trousers. They're currently chatting away to the small stealth-suited individual as they promptly completely ignore what they're saying. As you see this little motley crew before you, Hara kind of swiftly waves you down. Just good to see that you found a spot to park things up.
I made one.
That is impressively practical and foreboding.
What she sees is this 4'6", like tiny person with massive gloves or like gauntlets on, and like that have had some action. They're busted, but they're functional. Like this person has not lost a fight kind of gloves, and a giant freaking axe just like dragged behind them.
Hara seems to just nod at you a couple of times before shaking her head, rolling her eyes. Are there any other preparations that you need to make, or are we all feeling ready to head inside?
Which one was the strong one again?
Rolls her eyes again and points towards the stealth-suited 4'11" individual. That would be Z. Wingspan. The other two are not exactly fantastic when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Michael here is far more interested in the technological side of things and points towards the one tapping away and kind of just looks up, gives a very warm smile, nods, and goes back to their pad. And Anthony is useless in hand-to-hand combat. Points to the other individual as they stop their conversation, look towards Hara, and give a bit of a sigh and take a few steps away. Sparring can certainly wait, though. I believe that the caretakers will probably want to have a discussion with us first.
That's fair. If you need help with anything, let me know. I try to be useful.
That's good to know. Gives you a bit of a weird look and then just nods again before turning heel and heading inside of the embassy. The other three individuals follow suit behind her. And unless there's any actions that you'd like to take, you can follow suit too. The beautiful prismic iridescent exterior continues on the inside. Borderline gaudy as you step into all of these beautiful colors and decorative constructions that are littered throughout this area here. There's a set of double doors that open up and lead to this very over-the-top embossed staircase that leads to this small meeting circle. These two tables that kind of create this semicircle on either side.
I alert everyone, you can't trust money, and I send that through the data plating.
Actually, I would love to read a situation, which I have a +4 in. What a concept. So,
Uh-huh.
can I do that real quick?
Yes, we can.
Sick.
Wonderful. Cool.
Let me. Oh, I don't know how to roll in CompCon. Okay, hold on. So you said it's a D20 plus my
D20.
assorted modifiers.
Yeah, so D20 plus the skill plus your grit.
Okay.
Is there a help action in Lancer? Because I also have read a situation.
So do I.
Yeah, you can either go ahead.
I don't think I
and-
need a help.
I just want to know. I just want to know how it works.
Okay.
So you can either go ahead and take the roll yourself, or
Okay.
you can go ahead and add your modifier to someone else.
Okay, cool.
It's not like an advantage disadvantage situation. It's more of a you go ahead and add just your number straight up to someone. That does usually change the information that you would get and change the risk of the situation though in some aspects, so just bear that in mind.
Okay,
I
thank you.
went ahead and tossed out a roll.
I did.
Nat 20.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I don't need help because I also rolled a nat 20, so I rolled a 26.
I rolled a 24 then.
Either way, we got information. We're good.
Yeah, I was gonna
Indeed.
say like just being like one, former arms dealer, two, the one that usually works on things in the background. I probably have like a keen ear, a keen eye for hinky shit. So probably as we're like walking through the space looking around and like tuning in with like my I can't fucking think, the ear thing. And just like eagle eyeing all over the place.
Okay, so for Apogee specifically then, what specifically would be the first thing that you'd be trying to read? Like what are you trying to pick up with this role?
I think it's one of those. I mean, what she is aiming to do is everything as it appears on the surface. Are they being walked into an ambush? Oh, we're being walked into an ambush.
Okay. No, we're not.
Because
No,
you're
that was
nodding.
a nod along with you. That was
I
not
was
a you're being
I was
tweeted.
like, Ray, do we need to have a
No,
conversation?
No. That was an affirmative nod of like I'm listening to you, not an
Okay.
affirmative nod as in you're gonna get shot.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Oh, she got gang on her. Dang.
I had this thing on me, Mark.
Oh, shit.
You knew.
I do now.
So
Oh, I pulled it out during Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
I thought that was a prop.
Oh, it's a real knife.
So from Apogee's point of view, looking out for these discrepancies, let's say, you don't spot anything that would make you immediately suspicious. This looks like the hubris of a bunch of rich people that had way too much money and decided to spend it on the architecture and the infrastructure. You do not spot anything that would suggest an assault or a trap.
Okay.
And the one individual that is seated at the table ahead does not appear to be, frankly, threatening in any way. So the situation at the moment reads for you fine. It seems to be what it is on the surface. The hype. Same question with your role.
Yeah, for me, I think I was looking specifically for like what is the general vibe of these people? Are they like incredibly haughty, like the architecture would make one assume? Like what's the deal with like why did they build the building so big if there's not even a population? Because it feels like it's just a waste of space and that they're just wasting their money and they could be spending that money on better things like helping people.
That's a good question, isn't it? Yes. The simple answer is they are just spending too much because they can, essentially. They have nothing better to do.
Mm,
Um
a regular must.
this is a resort world. People have come here to retire, or they have come here spending far too much money to come here on a retreat or a holiday, or perhaps they are just here purely for the solstice itself. You know that this is kind of an attraction that can be hired out to people and has been commodified in not massively so, because you sell too many tickets, and all of a sudden it's nowhere near as much of a commodity as it could be. But it is pretty much the way that this planet funds itself, and there's not that many people here, and money's got to go somewhere.
It's like a tourism planet that expects tourism during a certain time of year, but normal parts of the year, like it's pretty empty, pretty dry.
Much. And when there are individuals, so this event only happens once every 1,000 years. So when people do show up, it is an incredibly minute amount of tourism that comes through. But it is people paying a disgusting amount to do so. So yeah.
On that vibe check, can I add that Hype would notice that with every passing second and every new person, or like every clean person or clean building or just like opulence sort of display of wealth, Asclara is getting more and more pissed.
You would both notice that, certainly, with those nat 20s on both sides. But yeah, that is pretty much the situation. You also notice doesn't appear to be any kind of security presence here. No, not even like security guards. Just seems to be empty. It's just this one person sitting in the room, at the very back. And as you step into the embassy itself, Horror and their group stop and kind of take a back seat, let you walk forward as the individual seated raises a hand and beckons you over. You should hear, "Ah, you've arrived. Good. Come, sit, make yourselves at home. There's a few small snacks and things that we've managed to get together. We didn't have a chance to take your dietary requirements, so we didn't want to put too much here in case. But there's also water and teas and things as well. Please make yourself comfortable."
I'm gonna stand like where we approached before that person like got up to whatever. I'm standing like there. If it's at the top of some stairs, I'm standing there. I'm standing far away from this table and just glaring daggers at this guy.
I'm going to immediately walk over and prep a couple cups of hibiscus tea so I can bring one back over to Zombie and be like, hey, this will help maybe.
Take the tea. Not my eyes don't leave this guy, but I take the tea and it's just in my hand now.
Oh, you've brought me tea. Thank you, Sklara. I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay. So I go back for a third cup.
Yeah, I would take that cup, and if Apogee passes by, just hand that over to her.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I spaced out. Fuck,
It happens.
It
happens.
I
We're
handed you a
on-
cup of tea.
Great. Apogee is going to sniff it just to I'm still a little sus about, like, I know there's no like immediate like snipers on us, but still, like, does it smell off? Does it smell dangerous?
It smells like expensive earthy tea. And
Hibiscus
don't-
teas aren't very earthy.
They can be.
exactly.
They're very sweet.
Not always.
Yeah.
True.
Space hibiscus.
I don't know. It's like this weird fruit tea kind of thing that tastes kind of like fruit, but kind of like tea. And I don't really know how to explain it other than that.
Apogee's
tastes
gonna be
good.
like, Apogee's gonna like take a sip, but it's gonna be like one of those like side ones. It's like sus.
But I think maybe
Sus.
we're overworrying too much. This place seems unprepared for anything.
Yeah, honestly, these people got so much money that they're probably just bringing in anybody and they'll give us basically whatever we ask for. That's
don't
the
know.
vibe I'm getting, I think. Like
If
legit.
there's anything my experiences in the trades, I will say, has taught me is never trust somebody with too much money that they look innocent because they're
Well,
trying to
obviously.
cover something up.
Obviously, don't trust them. I never said trust them. That would be terrible.
Are you just upset that you can't make a couple million credits selling them weapons?
And let such petty dalliances upset me.
Mm.
On the inside, I'm not owned. I'm not owned. I say as I slowly morph into a corn.
The individual kind of shuffles in their chair a little bit, picks up their own cup, and takes a swig. Mask individual. Very much a lumberjack physique, I guess. A little plump, but definitely still, strong, muscular. An older gentleman, but still seems to be keeping up with their fitness. Probably 60s at this point. Very neat, tidy, kempt, white gray facial hair that leads up to this very overly stylized short white hair that kind of comes out a little at the front. They smile as you seat, and if I could possibly trouble you for your names so that I'm not referring to you as that one. It's rather rude.
Sure. I'm Pandora, also known as Hype. By the way, which one of you is Adonis? Because like both of our parents named us after literary people, and I just think that's really interesting. I want to see if your parents are as big a dorks as mine are. And also, no, that's all I'll say. I said all of that out loud for the record.
They chuckle to themselves. I suppose I can introduce myself as well. Yes, I am indeed Caretaker Adonis. It is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances.
Caretaker. Why that name for the role that you're in? Are you a teacher among your people?
Probably takes care of the gardens that you destroyed earlier.
The environment is part of our work, yes. We look after things. We look after people. We make sure that things are running as smoothly and as productively as possible.
Hmm. And where in the hierarchy of this place does that put you?
The caretakers are the ones that primarily deal with the overarching day-to-day. We have some volunteers that help us out with more specified jobs, but all in all, the caretakers are the ones who take the brunt of the stress.
Right on. Anyone else? Anything to say?
At this point, Zombie, who has not spoken or moved, is basically like white knuckling it. You can you like at this point you can see she is visibly shaking with how angry she is.
Zombie, do you need to go for a walk? Maybe take a few deep breaths. You're about to kill everyone in the room, I can tell.
I'm gonna go find the short one. And I'm
Do
gonna
you
go
need
find sorry, go ahead.
Do you need someone to go with you?
I should be fine.
Hmm.
I look at I like give a knowing glance to Playwright, like
They're going to need all the support they can get. I won't say they're too emotional, but unless they can keep their composure, this could go bad.
I know I don't belong in this kind of hoity-toity atmosphere anyway.
None of us do.
Not anymore, anyway.
I can watch Zombie from afar, at least keep an eye on them.
Just keep their kill count to a minimum, and we should be okay.
Yeah. Apogee's gonna like finger up, excuse herself, and like follow like maybe 50 or 60 paces behind Zombie wherever they end up going.
I am looking for that 4'11" stealth person. Yeah. How dare they be 4 foot anything? That's my height.
I'm not sure.
Only I'm allowed to be the short one.
That's my thing.
This is the thing I built my personality around.
I used to look up to you.
Oh.
Perfect. Okay, so you go ahead and step away as Adonis pauses for a moment, but kind of comes to the realization and nods a little before addressing the rest of the group. Yes, the rest of you, your whatever name you wish to give.
Oh, the name's Miles Flow Doom. You can call me Playwright. And by the way, your systems are basic, lacking. A child could hack into this place and shut it down.
We've never really encountered the need to hide anything specifically. People only come every goodness knows how long for the solstice, and other than that, they live happy, relaxed lives here.
Hmm. Do you realize how easy it would be to completely take over your planet, though?
More than likely.
Okay.
We are a fringe system at the edge of the known universe where we don't have a lot of important things. We don't have the materials to make mechanized units. We don't have the materials to make fuel. We don't have secret weapons or research facilities or anything along those lines. We're just here.
You need a better planner because you built all of these buildings that are completely empty. You have all of these resources and materials, and you're not using the space for anything. And, like, honestly, it just seems like a complete waste.
People come to this place for vanity. They come to relax and live out the rest of their lives in opulence. This place was built many, many, many years before my time. Multiple solstices have already happened for as long as these buildings have been here.
All right, that's pretty cool. I mean, sorry for like nitpicking your government, but I still feel like just like accepting what's already here without like striving to make your own mark or like striving to make things better for people. I don't know. It just seems like a waste.
Hey, maybe when we're done with our mission, you could just take over the planet and make some real changes here.
I don't want no control over nothing. Thanks, though. Me and my mech, that's all I need.
Adonis chuckles and places their cup down. Well, despite the way that you look at everything here, we did hire you for a purpose. Well, an agreement was made, let's say that. The solstice is rapidly approaching, and many of our individuals are currently getting ready for the procedure. But the unfortunate side effect of the solstice is that there is an invasive species of metallic insectoid creatures that have been here for quite some time that we've never quite managed to get rid of. We think there's some kind of old mechanized weapon that's simply can't be gotten rid of. Whatever these machines, these robots are after, the Solstice seems to aggravate their systems. Usually they're happy to be pushed into their little corner of the planet, and they'll do their thing and take whatever resources that we aren't requiring, but the Solstice tends to make them a little more aggressive. So, every 1,000 years, we hire out a couple of mercenary bands to watch the area, destroy the robots, and as part of their reward, they get to be a part of the celebrations. They are larger machines, which is why person-to-person combat isn't exactly advised. We would much rather a full lance of individuals. But it's that simple. Deal with the robots. You don't have to fully get rid of them, but at least make sure that they don't start running amok during the preparations for the solstice. You get paid, you get to be part of the celebrations, and your mark is left forever on this world.
Mm-hmm.
On the surface, it sounds simple enough.
You've done
But
this
something
Sorry, come on.
but something doesn't quite sit right with me. Do you have any records of the last offenders that came 1,000 years ago?
A few, probably.
I mean, were they successful? Did they live to see? Did they live to make a mark? Besides being a stain on the ground.
That's what you mean. Yes, they did indeed live. They
Mm.
succeeded. They took part in the celebrations, and then they left. Where to, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but yes.
Do you have any of these bug bots laying around? You
Not
said they're
here,
happy to
no.
be sequestered to their side of the planet. What does that mean?
We don't really know a lot about these creatures, these machines, namely because, well, we we don't really have a proper military. We don't have research areas. We don't have anything like that, really. We just simply have a few kind of peacekeeping guards. That's kind of it. That's all we really have. We've never felt the need to keep any of these creatures, these machines, these things, purely because we wouldn't really have anything to do with them. It would be too risky to keep something that we don't understand in close proximity.
Do they do anything at any other time of the year, or do they just swarm during the solstice?
They seem to be mostly either perhaps hibernating. I don't really know for sure, but they tend to remain underground. I would assume some kind of galvanization process to use metal to repair and things like I don't know. I'm not really, this isn't really my forte, but they seem to be fine, just
Is it
relaxing.
possible that they are like cicadas and just come out during very specific weather incidences and literally just breed and then don't hatch for like another 1,000 years?
Their eyebrow raises, a little concerned, a little confused. Is it just like, sure, maybe. I did political science. I have no idea what any of this is. I'm good with people. I'm not good with machines or geography or throws up two hands.
A poli-sci major, you people must have unlimited wealth to take such a interesting major.
You watch.
Listen, we can skip that
Fair.
part. No worries.
That's
No worries.
fair.
That was a jab, but
It was like the beginning of Pride come across Adonis's face before he realizes he's been played, and he's like settles back into back into his chair, shakes his head a little, does throw you a weak smile. Regardless, that's it. That's essentially the process. That's what we need you for. Feel free to take a little bit of time to restock, to get acquainted. Oh, actually, to that end, they reach into their suit and pull out a small silver coin. And they hand it out just generally to whoever wants to take it. This is something that we usually hand over to guests who take this task onto themselves. This is the mark of the caretaker. Simply show it to any of the restaurants, the stores, the leisure areas, and you'll be able to step through and do whatever you like free of charge. All we ask is don't take the piss.
I just want to ask, one coin isn't gonna do it. We split up a lot. Can we get one for each of us?
They do
I think it's a
certainly give
fair
you.
request.
They certainly give you a look. Go ahead and roll me a charm roll.
So my only charm ability is just to stay cool.
Okay. I mean, if you can
I can just
justify to
roll a
me,
20.
you can justify to me why you would want to use stay cool instead, I'll let you have it. Otherwise, it'll be a
Well,
d20 plus your grit.
D20 plus grit. I got it.
If
That's
you
a
do not have any
9.
points in charm. Okay. A 9 in total?
9 total, yeah.
Okay. There's a slight shuffle with Adonis as they sigh. There's not exactly a lot of these that I can hand out to people. You must understand, it's a relatively rare event. They reach into their pocket and pull out. I can give your group one more.
Cool. Yoink.
They'll hand that over. You see not a vivid irritation, but a slight kind of just underlying eye roll.
I
so to
wink
speak,
at him.
Adonis, as they hand it over to you.
And I wink at him when he gives me the slight grimace, just like, thanks.
Feel free to grab whatever food, resources, and things you need, but the solstice is very, very rapidly approaching. So anything that you can go ahead and help out with. And then they pause for a moment. They're like, actually, there is one more thing. I noticed that you have a few more pilots than we had prepared for or expected. You are a lot more experienced as a group in comparison to they look past you towards the door, the other lance that we currently have in tow. If one of you could perhaps help Hara for a while in wrangling some of these fools, making sure that they don't destroy half of the settlement, that would be appreciated. I realize that means splitting the group up, perhaps, but it would be helpful. You are welcome to decline, of course, but perhaps.
I think Babel will raise a hand. I might be amenable. Perhaps I can learn more about what might cause these bugs to trigger while out with them. Who knows?
Perhaps you could. Maybe. Well, I understand that that's not the original negotiated task, so there will be some bonus compensation for you for helping me out with this particular issue.
Do you got any Rubik's cubes?
A what?
Just holds up, but like bigger. We'll talk.
I will see what I can do.
Money?
Looking-
No. Rubik's cubes? Yes.
Yes.
Pay me in cubes, please.
Mother, I desire cubes.
Mother, I desire the violence.
I,
Jesus,
I will take 8.4 cubes, thank you.
Well, where do you want to position us when it starts?
They reach into another part of their jacket and pull out a small chip. It's like, I had this prepared for you. Should give you a small staging area to battle these machines, or at the very least keep watch of the area. This will go ahead and give you the coordinates as well as roughly the capabilities, the data that the older Lancers had picked up from these creatures. And it's not a lot, but I hope it helps regardless.
Alrighty then. Here you go, boss. I just snatch the coin and toss it immediately to Playwright before Playwright even looks up.
Got it.
Is Zombie still like pacing far away?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, flicking over to the other group. Yes, it's probably a good time to do that now. As Zombie has stepped away, you are hunting for Wingspan, correct?
Yes.
So they are in the foyer that you had stepped into. The four of them are there. Stepping out of the actual embassy room into the foyer, you realize how soundproofed the inside of the embassy is, because Horror is on a tirade into Anthony, who's just standing there like a deer in the headlights, being chastised. You see Michael off to the side, seems to have plugged in their little arm pad into a laptop sitting on the bench. And you do indeed see Wingspan as well, who is once again kind of just on watch, just pivoting constantly, taking a look around.
Cool. I'm gonna beeline to him
Okay.
and punch him in the face.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I think, yeah, no, Apogee 100% is going to like try to jog as quickly as possible to prevent that from happening, but I don't think I make it in time.
You got the whip or the leash.
Oh no, that is on my mech.
Oh, you don't just
That
carry
is not on me as a person.
dumb devices on you.
No.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Okay.
would
Colony
imagine the
upbringing, yo.
I was gonna say I would imagine the leg span gets me close, but not quite there to prevent a punch.
Just short. Okay. Zombie.
Oh, yo.
Apply fists to faces.
Sweet. I can do that. That is 12.
Okay. You run up, raise your arm, and they clock you. And you immediately see the fluidity in their movement as they begin this very, very elegant, over the top, very kind of martial arty almost dodge to the side. However, they very clearly misjudged how fast you can punch and how hard you hit. Because before they get the chance to fully move out of the way, you clock them against just side of the jaw. Bam! And they do this small little pirouette spin in the air as their poor small frame just against the floor. You watch the rest of the lance suddenly just bolt upright. The conversation ends. Horror turns around at you.
Oh, I'm
Zombie.
fists up. I'm ready to take her out too.
Yeah, absolutely. Apogee like puts hands over fists and like kind of envelops Zombie from behind, like, no, 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 no. We're better than this. We're better than this. Do you, why do you want to punch this person so bad? I'm so sorry. I apologize for my child.
Okay, when you call me your child, I do visibly calm down.
I feel like as you calm down, you probably remember something playwright told you, something like, it's not how powerful you are, the skills you possess, but what's in your heart that determines the results. It's one of those like old timey, like wise words.
Yeah.
And with that, I relax like my fist because all I needed to do was really just punch somebody in the face. Um, and penal colony, like I grew up on a penal colony, so rules is to punch the strongest kid on the playground. And horror told me it was wingspan, so I punched wingspan. I'm good now.
You're gonna get us kicked out, and we're gonna lose all this coin.
Sorry, ma'am.
I like softly bonk you on top of the head with my elbow, just like a.
I'll take it. I'm not making eye contact with you. It's like I've gone back to being just like tiny. And like I'm looking at the floor and as you bonk me on the head, I'm like it's a slight smile like curves up and I'm just back to being like ready to do what I'm told.
It's very like Sailor Jupiter versus like Sailor Chibi Moon kind of moment. But not in so many colors.
You see Wingspan on the ground kind of wipe away some spittle, slowly pick themselves back up.
Apogee like absolutely holds out a hand to see like if they take it or not to pull them back up, but not sure if they would.
I'm looking up at Wingspan as he's getting up. It's a challenge, not gonna lie.
They don't actively reject your help. They just kind of ignore it as they pull
Fair.
themselves back up,
100% fair.
dust themselves off on either side. You see them kind of just wipe away a little more spittle, crack their neck a little, and kind of just relax their muscles a touch. They look towards Hara, and Hara sighs and begrudgingly looking at you during your apology, looks back towards Wingspan. We are here under orders. as a punishment for insubordination. We're not going to make that worse by causing violence and attacking the lance that came to this planet to help. That's my orders. And they frustratedly look towards you, look towards Wingspan, look towards the rest of their group, flicks their head, and they begin walking out of the embassy, while Wingspan stares daggers into you, zombie. Just silently stares at you for a few moments before Hara places a hand on their shoulder. And they break eye contact finally. Their eyes squint a little bit. They nod. Step away.
Yeah, every time he looks at me, I am just fishing something out of my eye. I can't. It's just there. And
I'm not going to admonish that.
Yeah. I just, when he leaves, like, I'm ready to follow Apogee wherever she leads. I'm feeling better. I'm more relaxed.
Do you have it out of your system?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Again, I'm sorry for Zombie's display. Be a pleasure working with you, I guess. And then I like kind of use the heel of my boot to like push Zombie along with like tap on their ankle to be like a subtle like go.
Go back to the room where everyone else is.
Go sit in the fucking corner.
Yeah.
Think about what you've done.
Like,
We're on a timeout right now.
As we're leaving though, like we're heading in our separate directions, I would like lock eyes with Wingspan and be like, whenever you're ready, brah, is basically the vibe I'm throwing out. And then I walk back.
You fucking, who are you, Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Like
Water Tribe. We out.
Amazing.
That's the exact image I had.
Wow. Perfection. You step back into the room probably as Adonis has finished their little spiel here and has handed the coins out and has kind of handed someone, whoever would have taken it, the chip with the coordinates, and nods towards you, Babel, as you accept the additional little offer there. But they'll smile as Zombie and Apogee step in. Well, I'm not going to keep you for any longer than you need to be. That's all I needed to discuss. But there are open communications here if you ever need to go ahead and ask me anything. Just let me know. You'll also be able to contact Caretaker Gabrielle if there's anything. Otherwise, dismissed. I hope you have a wonderful and pleasant stay at Paradise Brook.
Yeah, with that, get up to leave. Don't say anything.
I
swig of their tea.
I follow behind. I fall in behind Playwright as he's probably gonna come past me. And then when Babel does, gonna Rubik's Cube what I miss.
Just Rubik's Cube. Splitting. Split the party. See you later.
Okay.
TTYL nerd.
Get good.
Get good, scrub. Next time, punch in secret.
Mom noticed me. Bye.
I'm noticed me.
Just beans you in the back of the head with a Rubik's
Oh my
cube.
God.
That's like nerd.
Perfect.
As we get up to leave the room, I'm gonna run up over behind Zombie and just like give her the silver coin that I took. And just be like, hey, these rich people gave us this coin. It'll get us literally anything that we need. Just in case you need to unwind, you can take these rich assholes for everything they're worth.
Playwright, can you fill me in on everything I missed taking disciplining?
I'm sure you did your best, first of all. I know zombies not easy to handle. Any case, simply put, once the solar event happens, big, scary, bug-like robots are going to come from the ground, come from everywhere, and go wild. And we're here to defend the populace.
Now defending that we can do.
I
called-
don't know. With this, with the way things have been so far, we're going to have to keep a tight group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep a little order.
Oh, we got this. It'll be super easy.
Famous last words. I'll put that on your tombstone. How about that?
The pizza.
It'll be super easy. That wouldn't taste good at all.
Oh. I forgot about Tombstone Pizza.
Yeah.
It took me a second.
Yeah. Wait. I had thoughts
Are you
and then they
satisfied?
kind of reset.
Are you satisfied now, zombie?
The situation has been resolved for now, sir. Yes.
First of all, don't call me sir. But second of all, no matter what, it's important you know your limits. You can't just pick a fight with everyone. Eventually, you're going to lose.
I haven't yet.
You can't pick a fight with anyone because then you'll pick a fight with everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, it's you against the world. Not great odds.
No, it's us against the world.
I mean, if you and Babel aren't racing off ahead of us, destroying half the town.
We didn't destroy any part of the town. We just
sorry, the
went
flowers.
past. Yeah, flowers can regrow. It's fine. They're good fertilizer. Jeez.
Babel, what do you have to what's your take on this whole enterprise?
The bugs are interesting. Also, I guess I'm going to make nice with the people that zombie punched. Hopefully they won't.
How does
try and-
everybody know about this punch already?
You did it in front of everyone.
Oh, that's fair.
I feel like also like your knuckles like are bruised as shit, maybe.
Yeah.
We know
I wear
zombie.
gauntlets. There's
Yeah.
there's probably a new dent in them.
There's a dent in them.
We know zombies just gonna run out and punch somebody and then come back. That's like zombies' whole thing.
It's
Yeah.
like your MO.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
not the first
like
time
that.
you've done this.
The rephrase Babel says, make nice with the people that you presumably punched one or many of.
Only one, the smaller one. I won though, so
I
If
did
you-
doubt that for a second.
I mean, if you really want to make an impression, you wouldn't go after the small one. You would go after the big one.
he was the
Mm.
best fighter according to their leader.
And zombie left an impression on their face. It looks like their fist, but you know,
All
an
right.
impression.
Well, Babel, just like don't go liking them more than you like us. You're part of this team, okay?
Yeah, it's too easy to beat them in races. I feel like I need a challenge. Ultimately that I win.
Oh,
But
I'm getting you
challenge.
next time. Don't you fucking dare. You got lucky this time. The last 5 times I beat you.
And the last 7 times before that, I beat you.
Yeah,
So-
and then the last 5 times before that I beat you.
And then the last 15 times
And-
before that, I beat. They just go back and forth. They're like, and then this time I beat you in
All right,
poker.
all right,
and
all right,
then
it's
this
enough.
time-
I feel
Ah.
like that is the perfect scene to end on as we're leaving the embassy here.
I personally can't do that like whistle thing where you do that, but Apogee does, and that's
Apogee
probably
does, yeah.
like
With
We've got
Apogee and Playwright trying to break the situation up.
Nope.
We've got like zombie like checking their knuckles. We've got
I'm actually having my head on a swivel because I did punch the guy and he didn't get a punch back. So I'm just wanting to make sure he's not going to jump me because penal colony rules. There are no rules.
valid. Very, very valid. Yeah, that seems like a cool scene to go ahead and wrap up the first
just
episode.
everyone
of
yelling at each
Solstice.
other.
Dysfunctional family as fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just real quick go around the horn here, give people a chance to say who you are again, plug what you want to plug, all of that good stuff before we go ahead and head out here. This has been an absolute pleasure. Let's start with Crimson. We'll do the same order we did last time.
All right, cool. Hey y'all, I've been Crimson Galaxy. Again, that is Kriim. My hand is being dumb with this ring on it. Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. My pronouns are they, them, she, and they. Today I was playing Pandora Ellipses, or Hype, pronoun she, her, and where you can find me typically on Twitter, which is still alive for now, but I'm having doubts it'll last much longer. You can find me at sin_gal, both here and on Instagram. You can find me at crimson_galaxy_RPG. And as for the games that you can find me in the upcoming week, I actually don't have one until next Wednesday, and that's gonna be the beginning of our season 3 of our Things from the Flood campaign over on Party White Games at 1 p.m. PST. On Thursday, I should be back with some Call of Cthulhu over on So Maddie Games at 5 p.m. PST. And on Friday, I have a couple I still do have a couple games. I have a season finale of a Cyberpunk Red campaign. And that should be a really good time. The last one was like a month ago, even though we were like weekly before that. It just so happened that, scheduling, all of that. But yeah, that's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Cybernation Uncensored. Then at 5 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be back with some Don't Rest Your Head over on twitch.tv/otherdoc, where I am playing a trans homeless person that was awakened to the world of powers through staying awake too long, which is kind of cool. And then I'll be back here next week. That was too much.
No, you're good. Hang on. Give me a second. Hi, I'm Casper the NB Ghost. I am a Black Cherokee Sapphic writer of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. I created a lesbian werewolf scripted podcast called Howl the Podcast. You can find it anywhere you listen to them. This upcoming Tuesday at noon, I am on my home channel on Twitch. I am doing American Werewolf Biker Club with Young Foxy, Husha Kid, and Danny's Corner, or Animated Pizza on Twitter, because she's got to make life a little bit complicated. Love her. But then on alternating Wednesdays, I'm on Stardust Ghosts with Neon Lights Roleplay, where I play a Mechaton Zeta game. Maybe I play with other people here. I have no idea. I play with Darby. Where I play Doc, who is the Southern Frankenstein, and like just yeah. Anyway, my mech is just bits and pieces of other people's mechs. I love it. On the schedule has changed, but on it's now the second Sunday of every month. In this case, the 12th, at around 3, Cybernation Uncensored. I am GMing a Monster of the Week prequel to 13 Ghosts called Ghost Hunters. Saturdays I'm here. And Sundays I am on Pluto Cleric's channel playing Weird Frontier, which is a homebrew Starfinder campaign where I play Starwolf. I basically play Starwolf. And yeah, Tabletop Cities has Forgotten Guardians coming up, but yeah, and other stuff. And for my schedule, you can follow me at Casper the NB Wolf. That is Casper DANB Wolf, all one word, on Twitter, because I'm more active there.
And that 13 Ghosts game is fun. I'm in it.
Yes. Amber, I popcorned you to you last time. So
sick. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. Anywhere there's internet, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch, and Neopets, even also surprisingly. Even though I haven't logged in a minute, but I'm there. I am a TTRPG writer, editor, streamer, all of the above, and I just do everything, including take a break, which is actually what I'm doing most of March. My final thing that I'm doing for March, my final regular thing that I'm doing for March is going to be this coming Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have the finale of Visigoths versus Moggoths over on Bad House RPG. That has been such a wholesome, adorable, nostalgia moment for those who love the 90s and for those who spent so much time in their teen years in the mall. And I'm gonna be really sad to see that series go, but we're going to Goth Prom on Monday night, baby. So if you want to watch the Goths get their prom on, join us. And then Saturdays, I'm gonna be here all through March. And then the only other thing that I have to plug, I'll just plug on the 18th, that episode on the 18th, because y'all ain't finding me nowhere. I'm gonna be sleeping. I've been streaming nearly every day since April last year, and then you take a break.
Oh, Take a Break isn't a game you're playing?
No.
Oh wow, I thought it was a new RPG.
The game is called How Many Edibles Can I Take Before I Go Crazy?
Loving it.
I find that the answer is typically around 3 or 4 in one sitting.
These are 10 milligrams, so probably just one.
10 milligrams I typically do one. I'm saying to go crazy, you have to kind of do way too much, which is 3 or 4.
Yeah. Nikki says roll on.
Kev said the game is called Please Go Take a Nap. Yes. That's what I'm doing. March is rest month. But anyway, thank you so much for having me. I've been your mean mommy. I'm tossing it over to Darby. Darby, go feral.
Hello. Hi. My name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, pretty much anywhere that a handle can be had as Chaotic Darby, except for Instagram because I hate photos of myself. I am a TTRPG performer, streamer. When I do stream, possum, and all around menace on the interwebs. You can see me when I'm not here, because I will not be here for the next 2 weeks. I am leaving the country to go visit family, leaving this found family to go to my human family with human stuff. You can catch the recordings of me on every other Wednesday on Neon Lights Roleplay, playing in, surprise, surprise, another mech game that may have been mentioned here previously called Stardust Ghosts. You could also catch me on the First Watch channel, which is a 5th edition D&D game on YouTube. And I am also the community manager here on TTRPG. I remembered it, Nikki. You didn't have to say anything in the chat for me to remember it. I'm the community manager here. I handle a lot of the behind the scenes, behind the screens stuff. But yeah, you can find me in those places doing stuff and things. And Mark.
Oh my gosh. If you're still here watching this, I'm so happy for you. Just kidding. Your life is sad. Hey everyone, Mark J. Totally fucking around. Sorry. Mark J here. Listen, when I'm not here, I'm on Everrealm Adventures. We got new episodes of recording and putting out soon. I'm also on Apochromatic. It's a big co-op of a lot of POC gamers, and we're doing shows, interviews. It's a whole freaking thing. I can't wait to start putting out some more content with them. You can find me at More the Merrier on the Twitters.
Beautiful stuff. Support all these wonderful people in all that they do. You will absolutely not regret it. Hi, hello. I'm Ray. You can find me at Red Mage Ray on Twitter. I'm a professional GM and content creator. You'll usually find me over on Friends Who Roll Dice, a group that I've co-founded with a bunch of awesome people where we raise money for charity. We are currently in a bit of a hiatus at the moment as we redo some things and make sure that we are working in a way that we don't all, perish from burnout. But we do also have our regular Monday game, The Mind of the Martyr, which I GM over there for some Gaslamp fantasy shenanigans. So you can go ahead and check that out at 6PT. I'm not doing a whole lot else at the moment. Everything is currently either in progress or under NDA. So, woo. But yeah, that is it for the cast stuff. We have been on the wonderful TTRPG. Speaking of the channel, just before we do leave, TTRPG are also collaborating with Monsterfuckers Anonymous. This month they are teaming up to Smash, Crash, and Bash Common Mythological Beasts. The pre-recorded game will be released when TTRPG hits 100 subs. And of course, it is a collaboration. So the revenue for those subs will be split between the folks at Monsterfuckers Anonymous because, hey, guess what? Paying for exposure is bad. We don't do that here. We want to make sure that everyone is actually collaborating. Wild concept, I know. But yes, that is about all we had to cover. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit of a slower kind of set up episode, but I hope you go ahead and tune in same time next week to see what this crew get up to and what kind of shenanigans we can create. Hydrate, medicate, all of that good stuff, and we will see you next week.